and she got treated poorly. That's one of the biggest things when it comes to being an employee. If I get treated poorly, I don't want to be there. And after one instance of being treated poorly, um, if you let them get away with it, then they gonna think that they can do that to you all the time. So that's why, even though it's 2 hours that they took away from me, if I let them get away with it this time, who knows how many other times they gonna take 2 hours away from me? Uh-uh. So that's why I'm holding firm. Like, if I show up tomorrow. So, clips, remember how on Saturday I went to work and the power was out? And I was at work for like an hour and a half and then came home and then went live again and was home for 27 minutes because the live was only 27 minutes long and then had to go right back to work. They ended up not paying me 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. Even though I wrote it, I wrote down what time I showed up and what time I left. The manager went back, crossed out what I put, and drew in the number 11, saying I showed up at 11 o'clock in the morning. Even though, y'all remember when he showed up in the parking lot? Oh, hi, Michael, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, so good to see me that you took 2 hours off of my pay. He even popped over and said hi, asking about his girlfriend on TikTok. Remember him asking about LA? If I was smart, I would have looked. So he's saying we didn't deserve to get paid because there wasn't no power on at the store and the store wasn't making no money. That's his mentality. The store wasn't making any money, so we don't get paid. Right. I was directing customers. I was he don't see it that way. Right, it's not legal at all. It's not legal at all. And if I wanted to be ugly, I could go to the Department of Labor. You don't get paid if you don't do nothing. Look, if I show up to work and there ain't no power, that's not my fault. How am I supposed to cook? Rub sticks together and start a fire? But I was in my place. No, it's not that the manager is lazy. It's the manager is cheap. Any way he can get out of not paying his employees, he does it. Any way he can get something cheaper, he does it. No, it wasn't even the business's fault that there was no power. Canucci had an outage. There was 800 customers from Hinesville, Georgia to Savannah, Georgia that did not have power. 800 people did not have power. He's just the manager. Yeah. Uh, the owner? No. The owner is just as shady as him. The owner, when I first got my van, the owner used to keep asking, so what's wrong with the van? What are you fixing? What has to be fixed on the van? And took me telling what needed to be fixed on the van and went back to the person who I bought the van from and said that I was talking shit about him and his wife and that piece of crap van. It got to the point where customers got involved because the guy showed up at my job slamming stuff down on the counter talking about don't let me catch my name coming out of your mouth or my wife's name that like got ugly to where customers had to get involved and talk to that guy off property and tell him, you know, that boy ain't say nothing about you and your wife. That boy ain't said nothing. Now, that guy and me don't even talk. And I wasn't even complaining about the van. I was just saying the stuff that I have to have, like, that I have to get fixed on it. That's not complaining. Me saying, I've got to replace my brakes. I've got to get this checked. I've got to do. That's not me saying that I'm upset with the people I bought the van from. That's literally, you're asking me what I need to get fixed on it. I told you. And then you turn around and throw it in my face? Yeah, the guy I got the van from, we used to be good friends, and now we don't even talk. All because of that incident. Right, see? I knew about the stuff before I even bought it. And y'all remember how I even got brought back to the store, right? Remember? I had went to the Dollar General, picked up dog food, went across the street because I needed gas. When I walked in, he said, "What's your phone number?" I gave the manager my phone number, and then the very next day he called and said, "Hey, can we have you 2, maybe 3 days a week to work. And that's when I worked for 3 months straight without getting a day off until I started complaining. And then when I complained, lo and behold, they hired somebody else to put in the kitchen. I ended up getting my days off that I wanted. But yeah, everything with this job started out with a lie. What I was told was, we need you to help in the kitchen while the other cook is recovering from a surgery. She'll be back in 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so 2 to 3 weeks, I'll be coming up here and helping the store. Cool. The girl ends up coming in. The lady who had the surgery ends up coming in. I see her when she goes out the store. I go out the store. Hey, when are you coming back? She said, what are you talking about? I said, they told me 2 to 3 weeks. It's been 3 months. What's it? She said, the doctors told me it was going to be 6 to 9 months of me healing. She said, and then I'm not even healing properly. They have to so I've been lied to from the time that they said they wanted me to come back at the store. No, I didn't get paid more for no days off. It was the same amount of hours. When I had no days off, remember, I would go in and work for 2, maybe 3 hours and then be sent home. Now I'm there for 4, maybe 5 hours, and then I get sent home. So, this is not what I expected for us to be talking about on live right now. I wonder if my coworker is watching. Well, when I was working every day of the week, the reason why they did it was so that they would send somebody home after 2 to 3 hours. Let's do the math right quick. So, let's go highball. 3 hours. Let's go highball. 3 hours. So, 3 hours a day times 7 days a week is 21 hours. Do that times what I make an hour. That's what I was making for working every single day of the week. And that's before taxes. So now y'all can understand why I'm finally starting to show my frustration with my current job. So when you were taking advantage of me, I'm still making the same amount of money that I was making when you had me working every single day of the week. But now you're cutting my hours because power was off, and it's something that I had no control. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. Dollar General already said we'll take you back, but it's going to be basically the same thing as working across the street because they don't really have the hours. No, the store is not busy all the time. So the way it works The first week of the month, I know I'll get 5 hours for every day that I'm there. I work 4 days a week. So that's 20 hours I will get the first week of the month. The second week of the month, depending on if people still have money or not, I might get 5 hours a day, but I'm usually out of there at like 1:15, 1:30.